Hi, everybody, and welcome to Coach's Comments presented by Southside Auto Tech. Cristiano Cimetta with you alongside Stars head coach and GM Cody Chupp. Cody, you already know the score, but I'm just going to remind everybody at home it's a 5-4 overtime victory for your Lincoln Stars over the Fargo Force. Let's take it back to a point in the third period where I thought this game was over, and probably you did as well. Brock Bremer takes a cross-checking major. And you think, hey, one of our best players, you already have Christian Sarlo gone, now Brock Bremer gone for the game. Describe your message to your team in that point, because you have to kill off the major. You're down 2 goals, and who knows where the game can go from that point.
Yeah, I'd like to say that the message was composed and, positive, but I think at that point I was more probably losing it on the officials. And what I said to the team after, and our message all year long, is there's one guy that gets to yell at the refs. There's one guy that gets to get emotional with the refs, and that's me. And for our players to do that and to get emotional towards the refs is a waste of energy. We have to stay positive. We have to stay focused on the job at hand, which is our game. And what we did really well tonight was that. And it was frustrating. It was, we could circle back to the conversation we had about the officials in the last meeting, and we could just replay it for the fans. But it's frustrating when the game isn't managed and then it gets out of hand. And it's you watch throughout our league, it happens every time when the game is not managed, it gets out of hand. With that being said, our PK struggled, but they were good when we needed them to be. And our veteran guys, the ones that were left, were really good when we needed them to be. So, throughout the night, our 5-on-5 game was solid to really good. Our special teams, they looked like they took 10 days off.
So it's Jordan Power with 2 goals in the third period. He hadn't scored all season long. He's as snake-bitten as anybody on this team, 3 goals last year. And then he comes up with the first goal, which is set up by Josh Kroll behind the net, and that's a play where you're welcome to have number 25 back in the lineup every single night. And it's Jordan Power, the first goal, but then it's a 6-on-4. You see the face-off being won. Jordan Power goes bar down. Do you just think, hey, you've been in this game a long time, anything can happen? Because this is a game where your team had no right getting 1 point, but then they do get 1 point. We'll talk about the next point after that.
Yeah, I think it speaks to that leadership group and those veteran guys, and their composure, their willingness to stick to the process. We had a couple breakdowns tonight, and that's special teams aside. We had a couple breakdowns where we didn't manage the puck properly. You're hearing the message on the bench. You're hearing the message on the bench, and then they go out and they respond the way that they do. And for Jordy to score, it's not strange, and it's not like something that's catching lightning in a bottle, because he does so many things right when he's out there that goals are a byproduct of doing so many things right. The fact that he hasn't been rewarded up until tonight is maybe more so the outlier compared to what we saw tonight. Now, is he going to score 2 every night? Almost 3? Probably not. But when you do things right consistently, the odds are in your favor to get rewarded, and Jordy is a guy that does things right consistently.
And just when you think this game is heading to a shootout, you had the play from Power, what a pass from Grohl again, and somehow Cole Brady's able to keep that puck. A nice snowman. He's doing everything he can to keep that puck off the goal, and he does so. Travis Treelor with a late chance. Brad Morrissey with a chance along the high slot. But then Treelor comes off. Miller stays on along the near side corner, goes deep slot. He goes to his backhand, to his forehand, and just holds on. It's under 7 seconds left in overtime. Just a highlight reel goal. Describe your emotion on the bench. I'm sure it was very colorful, and I'm sure your heart skipped a beat, of course.
Yeah, my emotions from about the midpoint of the third period, probably the Bremer penalty on, or I don't even know. It was a roller coaster ride, and something that, I think for me needs to be better. Looking back on, at the time the Bremer takes the penalty, my only concern is that the ref hears what I have to say, and it's on the verge of too much, and that's where I give all the credit to the guys is, they stuck to the plan. They continued to work. But then all of a sudden we get one, and then we think, okay, well, we're going to have to pull the goalie probably. We get the goalie pulled maybe even later, and that's a credit to Mike's, maybe even later than I would have pulled him. And we get the huge goal off the face-off, and you're saying, okay, well, now, all right, regain my composure here. Let's get back to what we're trying to do. We get it into overtime, and Grohl takes a couple shots that are near misses in the top corner. The chances that you talked about from Morrissey, from Traylor, Jordy right on the doorstep, and I still have no idea how that didn't go in. And you're saying, okay, well, geez, we've created all these chances 5-on-5 throughout the game. We have to do so much to score, and then we get into overtime. We're creating all these chances, and it seems like this is just one of those nights where, okay, we're going to take our point. We're going to get into the shootout and hope for the best. And, obviously Matt Miller makes a really, really impressive individual effort to finish this one. So it's my emotions were all over the map. I'm not an overly emotional guy. I hit every end of the spectrum tonight within about a 15-minute span.
One last question for you, Cody. I know you have a lot of work to do tomorrow to prepare this team, because the second part of a 2-game series has been what you've tried to focus on after coming off a win. You saw it against Tri-City when you dismantled them. You had a poor third period in that game, and it carried over into the first period of Sunday's game. This is the second game of a back-to-back. What will you tell the guys, especially in a game like this where you don't really know what to take from it, given how the ending was? But like you said, the 5-on-5 play from your team was shown throughout this entire point of regulation, where if you just stay out of the box, this team is a playoff team and can go very far in this league.
Yeah, no question. I think the message is exactly that. We need to play our 5-on-5 game exactly like we did tonight, creating the chances that we did. We need to clean up a couple of those unnecessary turnovers at our own blue line where we're trying to do too much. Simple is effective for us, and it starts in our own zone. 5 guys working together, communicating. We make that first pass, we bring support to it, and then it's simple through the neutral zone. I've said it since day one. There may not be a team in the league that forechecks as well as we do when we're on our game, and so we need to use that to fuel our game, to get to our game, and sometimes it's really, really simple, really, really simple, and then you get to go to work and sustain some offensive zone time. So we want the emotion and the positivity from tonight to lead us into tomorrow. The 5-on-5 game, like I said, we need more of the same. Bear down on a couple of those chances, probably be a little bit harder and a little bit more frequent at the net front. Just stay there when we get there, be hard when we get there, and then clean up a couple of those turnovers. Special teams, like I said, we look like we had 10 days off. Those are things that we have to clean up. We're going to look at what we did tonight, how we can improve on it. But the message is, this is how you earn confidence. This is how you earn swagger, and those things have to be earned. And the way you do it is coming into a hostile building after a long break, a team that's ahead of you in the standings, and you grind the way that we did. That's a road win, and we'll absolutely take it.
Very gutsy road win for your team, Cody Chupp. Thank you so much for doing this. This was Coach's Comments presented by Southside Auto Tech. Stars win a wild one. Matt Miller with the OT winner with under 8 seconds to go in overtime. We'll be back in action tomorrow night against the 4-7-5 puck drop. We'll see you then.